Hey there YouTube, it's me Tifo Wilderness. Welcome to my channel and welcome to the second of this month's Korean toy reviews. Today I have got the next character from the Metal Cardbot toy line, and that is character number 9. He's the ninth character that has been, he's the ninth character that was captured by the main protagonist of the show, Jun, during the course of the show. And his name is Buffalo Crush, and he is part of a trio of characters, bad guys, that come in towards the end of the series, led by the Captain Black Hook, or Black Hook, and he has two minions or two cronies that run along with him. Most notably, Buster Galleon and this guy Buffalo Crush. And Buffalo Crush is he's kind of like the muscle of the group. He's the bruiser. He's the big he's the big guy with the strong sort of hand to hand or close combat attacks that take on the bad their enemies. Anyway, he's quite an interesting character, and I was going to get him anyway because I'm collecting all the characters from this toy line. So without further ado, let's get into this review. So start off with the box, and there's the box. It's a very bright, colourful box, as most of the boxes are in this line. It's made out of a nice sturdy cardstock. You got a picture of Buffalo Crush there. You got a picture of Jun on the side, and yeah. So again, Buffalo Crush and Jun. More pictures of Buffalo Crush with his armour on. His card armour, which is now I've got that what's it called, that a Google Lens app, which has got a translate function on it, which can to some extent translate foreign text, including Korean Hangul. So I can to some extent translate the text on this box if I so wished. But there he is with his card armour on, and then you've got all the product information on the bottom. So comes with the usual instructions in black and white to show you how to transform the figure. Now this guy comes with a couple of accessories. He comes with these two transparent sort of pickaxes, which actually do bolt onto the alt mode. They do have weapon storage in the alt mode, and I'll show that in a moment. And then of course you've got his metal card. Now can you spot the deliberate mistake? His name's Buffalo Crush, but look how they've spelt Buffalo. They've spelt Buffalo with one F. That's not right. Buffalo's got two F's in it. I've got a bloody Oxford Dictionary on the shelf up here. I mean, I've got an Oxford Dictionary, and if you go in there, it quite clearly says Buffalo is spelt with two F's, but maybe that's how the Koreans spell it. I don't know, but yeah. So he's got that. He's got his card weapon on the back, which we'll show a bit later. But here he is, transformed into a hot pink and lime green monster truck. And his debut episode's quite interesting because it starts off with him going around and just attacking random humans and draining the energy out of their cars because he's got a fuel leak. And he keeps running out of energy, and then eventually he pulls up outside Jun's parents' house, and his mother's setting up to have a garden party, and she's got a generator in the garden to power up all the garden lights, and she powers it up, and then he transforms, and then he goes into the garden, and she turns around, and there's this pink monster truck stood in the garden, and when she plugs in the generator, he transforms and tries to have a go at her, but she stands her ground. It's quite good, because he wants to grab the generator, but she slaps his hand because he's got dirty hands. So she cleans his hands up first, and then she allows him to drain the energy out of the generator. And then she notices he's got this fuel leak on his back panel on his butt cheek, and she slaps a sticker on it to stop it leaking. So it's quite interesting. Of course, then it turns out that one of his friends sees Buffalo Crush in his garden with his mum, and then he calls Jun up, and Jun comes round with all the Carbots, and they have a bit of a battle. And it's quite interesting. But yeah, I quite like Buffalo Crush in the show. He's very loyal to Black Hook, very, very loyal to Black Hook, and he's quite emotional as well, and he's quite a cool character. Anyway, here's his alt mode. It's, like I said, it's a monster truck. It's got lots of sort of like lime green sort of like transparent bits. It's got like these transparent green inserts inside the wheels, which don't really show up on this camera because they're not particularly bright, but they are there. Pretty good. I mean, underneath it's not too bad. You can see his arms folded up under there, but pretty cool looking truck. It's got large wheels. It rolls extremely well. He's got the prominent eyes in the windscreen. You know, he's got that angry sort of glare looking out in the windscreen. All the Cardbot characters have got the eyes in the windscreen, but a lot of them they're not quite as stand outish or obvious as they are on this guy. They're quite bold on his windscreen, so that's pretty good. Now his weapons, as I said, these two transparent axes, they've got pegs on the side, and you can plug them into the sides of the vehicle to form smokestacks. So you just do that, and they sort of clip into place, and that gives him a pair of smokestacks, which is a bit weird because he's got these large sort of custom exhaust pipes on the back as well, and he's got smokestacks as well. So he's got like 4 exhaust ports, which is actually he's got 6 because he's got double ones at the back, and then he's got these smokestacks as well. So he's got 6 exhaust pipes, which is a bit over the top. But like I said, he's very chunky, sort of crew cab type, sort of monster trucks. Got or high lift, pickup truck. He's got quite a lot of ground clearance. He rolls extremely well. Now, size comparisons. Now, in these metal Cardbot figures, I have been doing size comparisons with all the other characters in the line. This is getting a bit tedious now because this is the 9th character that I've collected from this toy line, and I don't want to go through the rigmarole of doing transforming all these figures backwards and forwards just to do a comparison with the various alt modes. So for this video, I'm only going to do the size comparisons with 2 of the other characters in the line, and that's one of the smallest and one of the largest, because one of the main gripes I've got with this figure is that in robot mode he's a bit on the small side. So anyway, here he is in alt mode next to Blue Cop, and I suppose he could probably do with being sort of that much bigger, in my opinion, in alt mode, but they don't look too bad together. Bearing in mind this is a sleek sort of like sporty police car, and this is a big rough and tumble monster truck. So yeah, there is that. Now, the other character I've got out, who should be a good size comparison, is Mega Trucker. Because in alt mode, I don't know. I mean, this guy's a lot wider. This guy's, just got a lot chunkier, bigger, squarer vehicle. I don't know. The size comparison doesn't look too bad. I still think he could do with being a little bit bigger though. But there we go. The size comparison isn't so obvious in alt mode. It's when you get into robot mode that you really start to notice something. Now, speaking of robot mode, let's transform this guy. So we'll take the axes off because we don't need them at the moment. Transformation's quite straightforward. Start off, you can unplug the arms. The arms plug together, and then you've got the wheels and the mud guards fold out to the side, and then you can sort of straighten the arms out. Then you get the doors. You've got to unplug or disconnect the doors. So just, well, there you go. Okay, you pull this front section forwards like that. Then you take the doors. They're on a double hinge, and they just go up like so, like that. And then this bit folds back. That gives, well, not quite the head reveal, but so the upper torso is more or less done. Now the rest of the legs, you just fold these out, fold in the wheels at the back. Actually, you split the legs, like so. Then you fold the wheels in, and then you bring around the toes, and there's his legs, and then finally just bring his head up. And twist the arms round so the elbows face forward, and there we go. There he is in his robot mode, and he looks pretty sweet. I mean, he's got this very strong sort of hot pink sort of colouring going on with the shots of lime green and the slightly darker of the transparent green. But it looks pretty cool. He's got some gold accents as well, and some little black bits painted. He's got the gold chains on his forearms, which looks pretty cool. I quite like that design aesthetic. His head is quite got a good design. He's got like these like sort of fangs or spikes sticking out of his chin, and he's got quite obvious eyes, which obviously the toy has got transparent eyes, but they don't really work, light piping wise. So yeah, he's pretty cool. Articulation's okay. His head is on a rotation. I suppose it just turns from side to side. The arms are on a ratchet there. Arm goes in and out. Elbow goes forward. Two sort of soft detents. It's slightly over 90. He has got, well, he's got ball jointed shoulders, so that gives him a bicep swivel. So that's good. So he's got that. Nothing at the waist, unfortunately. They could easily have put a waist joint in there. Hips, soft ratchet. No vice swivels, unfortunately. Now the knees, he's kind of got double jointed knees due to transformation. You've got the upper knee, which only goes to there because the wheel gets in the way, but if you move the wheel you can get a much deeper knee bend. But he has got the upper knee, which is that, and then you've got this lower transformational joint which flips around for the transformation, so you can use both of those and get a nice deep knee bend. But even actually you can bring his proper knee back quite a ways. So yeah, it has got a dip, but only if you move the tyre out of the way. If you've got the tyre in the way, it barely goes back to 90 because the wheel just gets in the way. Nothing at the ankles. He's got the usual sort of angled cut on the feet to give him that neutral A stance. He's got that going on as well. He's pretty decent. I quite like him. I like his Alt mode. His robot mode, he's very, very bright and colourful. He's got some nice colours going on. He's a decent character in the show as well. I quite like his character in the show. So yeah, there he is. Now, size comparison. First of all, size comparison with my usual size comparison, which is Transformers Combiner Wars Leader Class Megatron. And as you can see, he's hella small when you put him up against a Leader Class bot. Now, bearing in mind, most Korean toys I've bought in the past have been equivalent size comparison to this. And that gives you an idea of how small this guy is, right? So now I've got to do a quick transformation on these two metal Cardbot figures that I've got here. Just two, not 8 of them, because I'm not doing that anymore. So yeah, I'll just give me a moment. Right, okay, so first size comparison of the two that I'm going to show you is with Blue Cop. Now, as you can see, he is comparable in size to Blue Cop. He's about the same size in robot mode, which is fine. Blue Cop being the main protagonist, the main protagonist's bot from the show. He's the main character from the show in terms of the robots. He's the one that Jun first catches, and he's the one he has the most connection with, and he develops that super attack, which then sort of comes in later on in the show to take out certain bad guys. And this is the more interesting one. Here he is next to Mega Trucker. Now, as you can see, massive size difference. And there's an episode in the show where these two are fighting face to face, and I'm not joking, they're like that. They are like equal size. So, they're like that size. Now, I've just brought him forward to beef him up a bit, but then you bring him back, and as you can see, he's too small. He should be bigger. He should be that size. He should be the same size as this guy, in my opinion, in robot mode. But he's not. And that's, quite frankly, my biggest criticism of this figure. He's too small. immediately turns into a monster truck, which is a big ass vehicle. And in vehicle mode, the size comparison doesn't look so bad, but when you put them up against the robot mode, it's quite obvious, especially when you put it up against Mega Trucker. So yeah, I'm a bit disappointed in his size. He's a bit small, and that's my biggest gripe with this figure. Apart from that, he's not too bad. He could do with more articulation, as they all could, but he is what he is. Quickly before we go, obviously just show the accessories off. He does have his axes. He's got like a little slot in his hand, so you can just sort of plug the axes in to his hands. Oh, where is it? There we go. So you can plug the axes into his hands, and then he can dual wield a pair of axes, and he can throw them like boomerangs in the show as well. In his fight with Mega Trucker in that later episode, he actually throws one of the axes and it gets stuck in his shoulder. So yeah, so he does that. And then his card weapon. So it's not so much a weapon in this guy. It's like a lot of the later characters in the show that the card thing turns into armor that goes on their chest, and this guy's one of those. So you take it off the metal card and you open it out. Like so. And then you've got this piece on top as well. So there it is. And there's a couple of pegging ports on the front bumper of his alt mode, which plug in to the card weapon. And it goes on like that. And it forms this armour that's... Now, when I translate the instructions in the box using my Google Lens, it's called a buffalo plate. His card weapon is called the buffalo plate, and he does this attack where he jumps up in the air, and he sort of he glows in like a bright colour, and he comes smashing down. Using this, I think it's called bullfight. His ultimate attack where he just goes, yeah, he just crashes into them with like extreme force and just wipes them out, and that's his attack. So he's a bruiser. He's a guy who's into hand-to-hand combat. He's a hand-to-hand combat specialist. So yeah, that's his card weapon. It's just a green transparent armor that plugs on the front, and it's fine. It's fine. It's perfectly fine. He looks pretty cool with it on. I'm not so sure about the this piece that goes up round his head, because you can barely see his head sticking up above it, which is a bit disappointing. In the show, the card armor actually forms like a face shield round his actual head, but it doesn't quite line up on the actual toy. But that's just a little again, another minor gripe. I mean, I've got a lot of little gripes with this toy, but on the whole, I quite like it. It's all right. He's pretty good. So take that back off again. So that's it. That's been my review of this guy. Metal Cardbot Buffalo Crush, figure number 9 from the toy line, and there's only 3 more to go. He's okay. He's all right. He has a few issues, most notably how small he is. But apart from that, he's a pretty decent figure all round, and I kind of like him. So he's okay. So hopefully you've enjoyed that review. That's it for reviews this month. Moving into next month. Yeah, we'll have to see what happens, won't we? So I've been TFL Wilderness. Thank you for watching. I'll catch you all next time. Ta-da.